Hey, hey, hey. Listen, this is the re up. We are back yet again with more for you. I'm so happy to be back with my co host, Deacon Seaworth.
Mhm.
Deacon Seaworth. Nobody clap for him. That's
I'm here.
like, give me my money.
Give me my money.
All of it.
Yay. Of course, we have the incomparable LaSonya Whitt. Y'all give it up for her.
Say
Give
it,
me my
Sonya.
money.
Hey,
Give me
hey,
my money. Say it. Say it.
hey.
Come
Give
on,
me
Sonya.
my money.
Oh.
Yay.
Yay.
And of course, I'm the bishop, one good leg, you know what I'm saying, for those of you who don't know and who might know and who might even care. You know what I'm talking about. Today we have a fabulous show for you. I'm so excited. It's going to go down just like 27 of them, and you know what I'm talking about.
Yes,
And
Lord help me.
get ready, as the bishop would say.
Yeah, we got a good show tonight. If you saw the description, right, the title, there's a play happening here in the DFW area. I want my daddy,
I
and
want my daddy.
somebody on this screen already is acting in that play. So I'm super excited to see see her on Saturday, and then hear about her role tonight. So, and in a couple of minutes, we're going to have the director and the creator of the show, Cheryl Clark,
Mm-hmm.
on the show. We're going to talk to her for a little bit, and then we're going to get into some conversations, inspired by a play like this.
Mm-hmm.
I want my daddy. I think all three of us got different experiences with that. And so, just want to really, delve a little bit into that conversation about fathers in the home, fathers not in the home, how it affects the community. I think it'll tie into a lot of the stuff that we've been talking about over the last, couple of weeks, especially when we talk about politics and things like that, um, and dealing with the root of issues. I think we got to get back to some of the basics, which is having, finding out how to have complete families. You know what I mean? And seeing what that looks like. Not only complete families, but fathers who know how to be fathers, mothers who know how to be mothers. Just what does that look like, right? Because communities are built from families, and
Mm-hmm.
for a while, there's been the enemy attacks families. Like, they
Mm-hmm.
start from kids,
Yep.
and these kids grow into adults, and we try to figure out how to have families and deal through these traumas and things like that. It's not easy. So I think we're gonna have a really good conversation tonight. Before we get into that, we got some current event things happening. Definitely front of mind. This past week, we had, from what I'm reading, like the second worst hurricane to hit the American mainland since Katrina, basically.
Yep.
100 and I think 100. Last count I've seen, 162 people have lost their lives. So,
Wow.
definitely got to be in prayer for the folks there. If we're in the areas, if you have the ability, to support or help out, this is definitely an opportunity for us all to do what we can to support our brothers and sisters. And I think it was 6 states that were affected, through this: Florida, North
Yep.
Carolina, South Carolina,
Mm-hmm.
um, Virginia, Tennessee, Georgia.
Yep.
And it seems like North Carolina probably got the worst of it. That's where the biggest count so far. I've seen of life lost. So
Yeah, they were saying that it washed away one city. I was just looking at the news and flashed up. I was like, there's like one city had a lot of. I was like, they said, "Yo, we're not playing." I'm not exaggerating. Like the newsman was like, "I'm not exaggerating. We've got a whole city that's been washed, like completely drowned." It's like, oh man. So yes, definitely something to be keep up in our prayers. Because I'm gonna tell you something. You don't know when it can hit us. Because them hurricanes come inland. We in Texas. In Houston have a lot of hits, but Texas right along there, you just never know. So it's better to be able to help than the one needing help. So I said we definitely keep just keep them up in our prayers and stuff
Yeah.
because they need it. And they say another one's coming. My mentor I didn't get a chance to talk because I was getting on the show. He said, "Hey, have you heard that another hurricane is coming in behind that one?" I said, "No, I hadn't heard that." She said, "Okay, when we get off then." She said, "Look it up." So I said, "When I get off here with you guys, I'm going to see what that's all about."
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely something to keep an eye on. This
Mhm.
is hurricane season. I
Right.
grew up in Virginia,
Mhm.
so it's definitely something that is common around this time. And like I said, we definitely need to be praying for our brothers and sisters in those areas. Um, the other big news I think I've seen just recently today, Israel. There's been an attack on Israel from Iran.
Oh yeah.
So but like 180, almost 200 missiles just shot over, Tel Aviv. So, that whole situation seems to be escalating and just getting worse. And
Mhm.
you know, they we've been reading the scripture, right? In the last
Yep.
days,
Wars,
the wars
rumors
and
of war.
rumors of wars,
Yep.
and that's the Holy Land. That's been wars for generations and generations. So definitely something to keep an eye out on. Again, a lot of innocent life is being lost, and a lot of different things, happening
Mhm.
from that point too. Any thoughts? Anything y'all hear about that too? Or
Oh, with the different lives being lost.
Mhm.
Oh yeah. It's very concerning because it's going to affect all of us some kind of way because it affects the economy. It affects people losing their life. It affects, and I believe it's going to have some type of residual effect on other nations. Like, you might not be directly involved in it, but we all, like, I had a friend, she was at the store. She said, "Hey, there's no paper towels, there's no tissues." Like the trucks that are going from different places across the waters are being held up. So a lot of our supplies are being affected. So indirectly or directly, we all are feeling the effects of all of the trauma going on all over the world, all the different things that are going on. So it's definitely a season to be anchored, to know what you got and hang on to what you got and hold steady with what you got. It's definitely a time for that now. So I would
Yeah,
say that as far as what I've been seeing and noticing, like I said, with supplies being shortages and stuff in the stores and stuff.
yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Um, Leon, you've been quiet, man. You've been keeping up with all that stuff.
Yeah, it's
I
been a lot.
haven't. I try not to watch too much of the news. It definitely takes me to a different place. So I
Yeah,
hear it when I hear it from the people.
yeah, yeah. No, no. I'm like you. So I really don't watch the news until there's something I really want to get a little bit more information about. But
Right.
and in both of those things, they kind of popped up in my feed, my social media and YouTube feed. So,
Mhm.
um, and the final thing that recently popped up in my feed, and I know last week we celebrated the life of James Earl Jones.
Yeah.
But this week, another young black actor, or old black actor that we've known
Yeah.
and grown up with, John Amos, passed. And I thought it was definitely important, right, for us to
Yeah.
not only honor his life and what he's done, but from the topic that we're getting ready to get into today and the play. I remember my first encounter with John Amos on TV was Good
Mhm.
Times.
Yes. That
So
he
um,
was not no joke.
right. And we'll probably get into this later because I didn't have a father. You know what I mean? So when I'm looking at TV fathers and stuff like that, those are some examples of, oh, is a father like this or like that? I don't
Mhm.
know. Then Bill Cosby came along. You had the Cosby Show, but before Bill Cosby, you had John Amos. And
They sure did.
JJ running around here.
That's the
um,
truth.
yeah, so just shout out to John Amos. You know, lived a long life. Coming
Man.
to America.
Hmm.
Uh, what else? It was another Coming to America. We had come on,
I
Dion,
can't
don't leave me
remember
out there.
that the name of that other
Roots,
sitcom that he
Yeah,
was on.
Roots.
Roots,
Sure enough, baby. That was
Roots,
don't play.
Roots. I mean, come on, man. Like,
Yeah, he played in a lot of little different stuff though over the years. A lot of little
yeah.
stuff
Yeah,
I was seeing him on. He played in a lot of different
that's
things.
real.
All right. Well, as we transition, we'll be referring back to John, throughout the show. I don't know if John, if Dion got the John. You friends with him?
Oh.
I don't know. Let me know later if you friends with him. Um, but LaSonya, I'm gonna bring someone out the green room, and I
Mhm.
know you know her best because you've been working with her for a while. So I want you to kind of do the introductions.
All right, let's do it. Oh, look at here, look at here, look at here. Oh, glory. Yes, I want to bring introducing to some, presenting to others. What she say? She's simply just me. Cheryl Clark. Yes, I want to say that she's the producer and director of the stage play that we're getting ready to introduce to some. I Want My Dad. And it's such an honor to have her on our show today because she is the writer, the founder, producer, creator, the innovative mind. Everything about this play came out of her heart and whatever her experience is. So I'm glad to have her a part of the show tonight to just tell us her thoughts from her position and her perspective as a writer, producer, creator. We just value her so much. A director. I mean, she's all up in this play. She's like, do this, do that. Pull it back, pull it in. I mean, it's just amazing to work with such a great talent. So, introducing to some, present to others. Cheryl Clark.
Hey, hey, hey,
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm blessed to be on the show today. Blessed to be in the land of the living.
All right now.
Mm-hmm.
Cheryl, so glad to meet you.
Mhm.
I have to tell you, I've seen you around the church all the time. Like I'm a deacon at the church, and so I seen your face. And when I saw the flyer, when I saw all the people, some of the people that's in there, I'm like, you got ministers in here, like
It's the truth.
super excited. The title, I mean, it grabbed my attention already. It's something definitely near and dear to my heart. I Want My Daddy. Tell us what inspired you to write. I want your daddy. I want my daddy.
Mhm.
Okay.
Hmm.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah,
Mhm.
go ahead.
Okay. All
Mhm.
right. So, originally, this is a production that I did back in, it was a production I did back in 2013, and it was entitled "In the Absence of My Father."
Mhm.
And so I started trying to do something here in Dallas because I'm originally from Memphis.
Okay.
Come on.
This is the production that the Lord laid on my heart to do, and but He told me I had to tell my truth.
Ah,
And
okay.
so I did the play before, but there was some truths that I didn't, address. So I
Mhm.
had to go back and edit it, and I had to honor my father. He was not my biological father, but he was the best. And he passed away a couple years ago, and this was in homage to him as well. But so we were doing it, and then I started looking around, and I started saying, in the absence of, on YouTube, I pulled up in the absence of looking for like some old clips, and I started seeing a few other people started talking about in the absence of, and I was like, oh Lord, I like to be original as I can be, so I was everybody trying to talk about this, so and it bothered me, but I was like okay with it. But when I woke up a couple days later, I heard the spirit say, "I want my daddy," and then I was like, oh, "Can I change it?"
Mhm.
And then he's like, "That was the answer," and then it was like, "That is the answer for this generation."
Mhm.
Yes.
It will speak to this generation. It will catch their attention. It will draw them. A lot of us, we say daddy, I want daddy, and we don't say my father. So it was just a whole shift in that as well. So the title change was, yeah, it was necessary because I'm trying to reach a broader audience. So that is how the name of it came to be. But again, I had to tell my truth. So I'm actually telling part of my story, along with just how other people deal with not having their dad in their life via because they lost him or he wasn't there, he walked away, never there. So I had to tell it from different narratives.
Okay. Okay. How long have you been in the playwriting and creating plays? Tell us how you guys started with that.
I tell you that, I'm tell you how old I am.
You
I
could have started that too. We don't know.
I ain't gonna say no. I've been doing plays since 1999. I wrote my first production in '99.
Come on now.
So it started out in just the can I do this type of thing because
Uh-huh.
I was doing skits for the church, but then I was like, let me see, can I wanted to tell the story of Christmas, but I wanted to tell it in a different way. You know, we love Jesus and we love, how God, put him on the scene because if it weren't for him and his being born, glory to God, we wouldn't be here. But there was a different way of telling about the miracle without, not always telling it the same way. So I felt challenged to do that. So I wrote my first production, and it was called He Has Given Us New Life. And it was about a couple that couldn't have kids. And, they were faithful to God, faithful to church, faithful to the ministry, but they couldn't have kids. And the irony of everything was that it wasn't the lady that was the father, it was the man. So anyway, they got a miracle at the end, and it's kind of comical. Sonya tell you, I like to make people laugh, so it was a little comical. So it went over so well. Packed out house was like shocking, and then I've written like six productions, but like every time we did one, it got better and the crowds got bigger. And then my dad, after a while, was like, "You gonna have to start charging because you are giving the people way more than what they, for free."
Right, right.
Daddy was like, he was a part of that movement. He's like, "You giving TP plays for nothing, girl. You gotta come on with it." Since '99, I've been writing. Yeah,
Now
I
I got
love.
another one. Now, Sheldon, I got to tell you this about her. She got a couple books too. She ain't just no playwright. She be writing it in some books too. So you got to talk about that just for a couple minutes. You got to tell us about these books because I'm telling y'all, you need to hear the backdrop just for the books. Then we'll get back to the play. Come on, talk to about them books now.
Who is that?
Oh, that's the big testifying to you. He said, "Hey, go girl, tell about these books."
All right, yeah. So I am an author as well. I wrote my first book in 2009. It's called No More Sunday Mornings. It's a series. It's a Blackwell legacy. So I did a part two, but it's about so it's like the way God deals with me is really unique. So I had a dream, and when I woke up from the dream, I was like, "Lord, what is that?" I pulled it out. And so it's very detailed as far it's about three siblings that their mother's foundation for them was God, and she was dying at the very beginning of the book, and she wants to leave them a legacy, and so neither one of them want anything to do with church, so she wants to leave them God. They want riches, but she wants to leave them God, and so she leaves behind three Bibles in hopes that they find their way back. But we see them in their natural state. It's a Christian fiction, but it's not all Christian because I want to reach people that are not saved. So I try to be as real as possible. So one of the son is like a former drug dealer, and he's trying to change his life around. He's trying to get riches, but not by selling drugs. But doing that, he finds Christ. And then so the daughter, the baby girl, has two kids out of wedlock, so she
Mm,
find her way. And so, yeah, I don't want
mm.
to much of it because
Not the baby girl.
I'm not
Yeah,
Not the baby girl out here having these babies
the
yes,
baby
sir.
having babies. She was looking for love, but
in
she
all the wrong places.
exactly
Come on,
just
talk to
giving
us.
up the goods and all of
Yeah.
that. She didn't get no ring. She didn't get no ring though.
Oh,
Well,
glory.
once you start having the babies, it gets harder and harder to get a ring. I'm gonna just tell you that
Uh-oh.
right now.
Uh-oh.
I'm just tell you that right now.
Come on now.
It get harder and harder.
Oh, it gets
I'm
hard,
gonna tell
hard.
y'all what I like about Cheryl. She real, like she's dealing with real life issues and not making the Bible so abstract, but pulling it into their lives. It can work for the common man, the everyday hard worker, the everyday person. You can be touched, with their infirmities and their affliction, like the words say. And
Right.
so she goes into different holes and be touched. Everybody can be touched, like men, boys, girls, young and old. So that's what I really like about her and the different ways that she reaches her audiences. So, yeah, I could not let her leave out that she was an author too. Yes, sir. Okay, now back to the play show. Come on. I want my
Thank
dad.
Well, and so I'm glad you brought that up though, LaSonya, because this made me this scripture. I actually had this up from a previous show, but I saw it when I was preparing for this one, and it's Revelations 12:11. They have conquered him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony, and
Right.
through this conversation so far, Cheryl, I can hear like you went back to this play and revisited it and gave a little bit more of yourself in that, you know what I mean, and a little bit more of your testimony. And I'm just my experience is that is exactly how you reach people. You mentioned that your heart is just not to make plays for Christians, but also reach people who might not be believers. And I think that's so important in discipleship. So I love that already about your heart. Just we go through things in life, right? We go through experiences, and it's one thing for us to get healing from it, but it becomes a weapon and victory when you can give other people,
exactly.
healing from it too. So I applaud you for that for sure.
Oh, thank you. I funny that you mentioned that. I was speaking with a friend the other day, and I don't know. We were talking about how, as Christians, we could be. I think he was listening to the podcast that Pastor Keon did with
Mm,
Cam Newton, and he was talking. Cam was talking about how, as church people, we make it seem like this particular sin is so wrong, and we haven't done it just because we're not. I might not be an alcoholic. I might be a gossiper, but I try
mm,
to act like alcoholism is just so bad, and I'm not doing it, so I'm super safe.
Yeah.
And then,
Yeah.
we were just talking, and I probably shouldn't say this because I'm gonna do something with it. I feel like it's like a play or something, but it just came to me, how Jesus, when he was, how Thomas didn't believe that Jesus was who he was until he showed him his scars. And
mm-hmm.
how
Mhm.
sometimes we have to show people our scars in order for people to believe that it's possible for them to be delivered, for them to be healed. We have to show them, hey, I was there, I went through this. Hey, see, I ain't always been there. And then in that we can draw, and people will believe in the God that we serve because we showed them our scars.
Absolutely. Absolutely. When you talk to people who aren't believers or atheists,
Yes.
the one thing that they always refer to is you believe in a God you can't see.
Mm,
We are representatives of that God that supposedly you can't see. You know
Yes.
what I mean? And so if we hold back those scars, if we hold back the things, the testimonies and the things that He brought us through,
Yes.
then how can we expect them to see the God that we so intimately experience, every day, so it's I think it's super important as Christians that we really get that,
mm-hmm.
we can give them word, we can give them the Bible, quote scriptures all you want, but until it becomes a practical thing, until it
Yes.
becomes something they can see and
Hmm.
feel and touch, which is us,
Yes.
and
Mm-hmm.
then it's just words on a paper to them, so
Awesome.
Dion, you
Yeah,
look like you
Dion, we
want
ain't
to
gonna we
say
ain't gonna
something,
leave
man.
y'all,
What's
Dion, because
going
he
on,
look like he ready. Come on, Bishop. We're gonna let you talk because I'm ready to jump on in there. This
Nah,
getting
nah.
good.
Y'all. Do your thing. Do your thing.
Bishop come off with them questions, Sheldon. You know what he waiting for. You
I
know
know
how he do it.
he over here. Yeah, I know.
Mm-hmm.
So when people watch this play, um, what do you hope they get from it? Like what's the main takeaway that you have, for him, without giving away the whole plot or anything like that? Because I watched a couple of videos when preparing for this, and I saw you interviewing like three different groups of people. I don't know what team I'm gonna represent yet, but I'll see when I see the play on Saturday.
All right, it's hard to choose. It's hard to choose. There's some good groups. I would like for several things to happen, but most importantly, I would like for people to experience the power of forgiveness. And I know people talk about it all the time. Lord, I'm not finna say the same line that people say about forgiveness is for you, and I'm not gonna say that. I am going to say that even in one of the storylines, you get to see the heart of the person that actually wounded the individual that has to forgive. So you actually get to see their heart, because I wanted to hate that character. I really did. But the guy that's playing the character, as he begins to pour out his heart about why he did the things that he did, you can't help but to have compassion for him.
Yeah.
Although you want to be mad at him because he wasn't there. But the compassion has to come in. And then we see the character really show that forgiveness is not easy. And then how do you ask somebody to forgive you that has never asked?
Right.
That has never even made tried to make amends. Just because you come back in my life, I need to know your why.
Right.
And that's how I was. So that's a part of my story. I wanted to know your why, but I didn't get the answer to the why until I lost my husband. And when I lost my husband, I was talking to my father, my biological father, and he shared his heart with me. After all those years, he had never. I would be like, because I met him when I was 18. And so I was like, I just knew that the first day I met him, he started telling me why. Just different things, and nothing ever. Or if I asked questions, it was always glossed over. But it took years, 10 plus, 20 plus years for me to finally get my why.
Wow.
So even in that, I had to come to grips with what the relationship really was. This guy had to tell me what it was. And then I had to, like I said, it's hard to forgive somebody that's never asked.
Yeah.
And so,
And you have situations where fathers have passed,
Yeah.
before you. We'll probably talk a little bit more about this later on, but I didn't meet my father until I was 38. So, imagine, going through these different things and these different emotions, or trying to understand why, or this or that or whatever. By the time I did meet him, I had already went through all the emotions. I was just happy to meet him. I was just excited to see a piece of me that I hadn't really witnessed before. So it's super, super important. Forgiveness, I think, is at the core of a lot of different things. And I know you said you skipped over the forgiveness is for you, but it's also freedom. Forgiveness gives you freedom from a lot of the bondage and the baggage that comes along with the trauma of that person not being there, or not being who they could be or should be, or however you fit it in that box. So definitely a good thing. So this is a serious topic, so I got to understand how you guys are making it humorous. And so this question is for LaSonya, because I heard she's like the drunk auntie.
Yeah, I'm the drunk auntie. I'm the drunk auntie. Call me auntie.
So is she the one to just tell it all when she drinking? She just tell the truth. Wait, what can we expect from your character, Sonya?
Yes, you know them drunk folks. What they say: a drunk person's tongue is a sober man's mind.
Oh
That's
goodness.
me all day.
Oh
If
Lord.
you drunk, you gonna tell it. It's like they trying to keep these secrets, and the drunk is gonna let it out. The drunk let it out. You know how it is. You know,
Oh yeah.
the ones come around, everybody try to shush them. Shut on up now. They get that liquid courage. I got what you call liquid courage in the play. So when they come around with that okie doke, it's like no sir, that ain't what it is. And I keeps my liquor because I needs my courage because I come out with some deep truths. See, I had to tell them I had to keep the story straight. Yeah, you know they try to sugarcoat it, and them drunks come on out with it straight, give it to you straight, no chaser. So that's my role in it.
I love it. Now, comedy is definitely the thing. I mean, that's kind of the system we use for this show, right? I can be serious, but having these two comedians up here, we can talk about something real serious, and they can find something in it that will bring humor to it, and it's kind of like when your mom used to try to give you castor oil or something like that. I don't know if all of y'all remember castor oil.
Oh, I did. Yeah, I remember.
You had to get a chaser with it.
Yeah, you had to get something.
I've been blessed not to have it.
We had to line up. It was 6 of us. You had to get that spoon, baby. She lined us up. You had to get, oh God, thank God, cod liver oil too. Was it cod liver oil? I don't know if y'all remember that.
Yeah, all of that.
Baby, they didn't play. We wasn't sick either though.
It got rid of everything.
Everything.
So you're not as old as you was trying to let on earlier. Huh?
Everything.
I say you're not as old as you tried to let on.
Oh, it's okay. I'm back there, baby. Don't worry about that. We got it. We got it.
My mama didn't make me take that.
Yeah, she said her mama didn't make her take it. Yeah, she said her mama didn't make her, so you can't worry about that.
Man of God.
Her mama didn't make her take it, huh?
Yeah, her mama didn't make her take it.
No,
I don't buy it.
That was more my grandma. I can't remember if my mom made me take it.
Yeah.
No, that was your grandma.
My grandmother. Yeah, she lived by that.
Oh, you gonna take you a tablespoon of this here? Hey, look here. Come here, Sheldon. Come here. Here. You look a little peakedy. Come here. Come here.
Yes, sir.
You ain't want to cough around them. Don't cough or sneeze.
You didn't get your piece, did you? What's wrong with you?
Oh no, Lordy. Oh no, Lordy. Come here, Sheldon. Come here.
It's none of that. No, sir.
He is the comedian. Oh my God.
Come here, boy.
Yeah, that's
you around here wheezing and coughing. Come here. In the kitchen here.
Why you gotta look like that though? Why you gotta look like that?
Okay.
I'm gonna get you together today. Come here.
He acting like your grandma had no teeth. My grandma kept her some teeth till she died. Even if they weren't hers, she kept them teeth. He acting like my grandma had no teeth. Grandma had some teeth, baby.
Give me that
but see, these grandmas getting younger and younger. See, when I was coming up, you looked at her, you knew instantly, grandma. There wasn't no doubt.
That's grandma. She didn't play with you.
I'm 30.
She wasn't no G mama, baby. She didn't play with you.
My grandma looked young until she wasn't young.
Okay.
She was young forever and walking around young.
Okay.
Cheryl, it's definitely a pleasure to meet you. If you could, I'm gonna bring up the flyer, but tell people why they need to come to this play if they're in the DFW area this weekend and how they can go ahead and get their tickets.
Can I just say one other thing?
Sure.
Is the comedic relief, but the thing about me is I've been told I'm funny by myself, so each character or it's somebody in each set or team that it's funny.
Okay.
So you're going to laugh not just at Drunk Tanya, you're gonna laugh at Aunt Sue, you're gonna laugh at different characters. It's a plethora of comedy comedic scenes in there, so people are gonna laugh, period.
They ain't gonna laugh as hard as they gonna laugh at Sonya, I bet you that.
What?
No,
I bet you that. Now mind your tongue, ma'am. Mind your tongue.
he been
Cheryl, he might be a little biased with his sister.
Mind your tongue, ma'am.
No, they do, but she said so. They got some good people.
I can be funny too, sir.
She
Listen, we
wrote
don't
this,
want to
so
hear
everything
about
I'm
what your
saying, she
cousin them
wrote.
say about you. We don't want to hear that. Okay? Sonya's
The
funny
fun-
for real. She's earned
Outside
this.
Bishop, what's your name?
Huh?
Outside of Bishop, what's your real name?
Listen.
Bishop.
Listen.
She trying to find you. She
she's
gonna
looking.
find you.
Ma'am, don't do this. Don't do this, ma'am. Miss Cheryl, don't do this. Don't be that person tonight, okay? We're trying to keep you together.
Bishop, I'm gonna let you have it. I'm gonna let you have it.
Well, I'm here for it. You know, I'm here for a long time and a good time. You heard me? You heard me?
That's our Bishop, huh, show. That's our Bishop.
Yeah,
But no,
Bishop one
seriously,
good
though, being a
leg.
part of this play, it is some pretty. That she got some profound actors and stuff. She got some really good people, actors and actresses. They really true to their craft. They really honed in, and they really are, like professionals. They're really good. So I have a
But
good
they're
time
not gonna
every
be
time.
fun as you though.
Oh, they got some good. They hanging.
They're not gonna be fun as you though.
Not gonna be funny.
I said what I said.
They not gonna be funny as
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna let that be.
We'll let Bishop have
It's just, I think the point is, it's gonna be funny. And,
Oh yeah, it's gonna have a good time.
it's gonna bring a lot of it, and it has to be, because this topic is it's something that I believe touches almost every family, and in some way, form, or fashion. If you had a father, there might be, how we learned how to be fathers. You know what I mean? We were talking about, John Amos earlier. We were talking about, the Cosby Show and different, and how we're raised up as men to, be tough and don't cry, boy. You know what I mean? It's a lot of that goes into our fatherhood. But then when you look at, I think about the scripture where the prodigal son, and how that father, was with his son. I think about different scriptures in the Bible, Abraham and Joseph and Jacob, like all examples of different fatherhood. Like in the Bible, fathers were like, assigning purpose, to their kids and in their family. You know what I mean? And like your name had a purpose to it, and that was coming, from your father. So fathers, they have an important thing. And, what do you do when a father isn't there, to tell you who you are or to help guide you, in that direction? So that's the question. You know what I mean?
Can we back up?
Yeah.
Can we back up for a second?
What are you backing up to? What are you backing up to?
We didn't. I mean, we asked you, but you didn't get a chance to really, give us the information. So I'd like to back up to that part before we go forward to this next one.
What's that?
Where and how can we get the tickets at this point? And are they going to be selling tickets at the door? Just that kind of information. Put us up to speed. Go. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it, Cheryl. Come on.
Bishop, I'm not.
2 more comments, but I'm gonna be obedient first. Okay.
Okay.
I got to be y'all 4th co-host.
I think so.
Go ahead.
Tickets can be purchased at www.sheworksit.com. That's CHEworksit.com. And yes, tickets will be available at the door. It ain't a lot of tickets available at the door, so you better get on it now. But yes, tickets will be available at the door as well.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for that.
Look, man,
and what time do it start? Tell the truth. What time the doors open? What time do it start? Go.
One thing about me is one thing I learned from my dad is when it says it starts at 2, it starts at 2. Doors open at 1.
Okay. I respect that.
Yeah, I don't get.
Yeah, I was about to say not black people time. We got
Play gonna be over when most of them show up, but we gonna have that $35.
Don't get dressed at 2 talking about I'm finna go to this play. Don't do it.
You're gonna miss the first 30 minutes because we'll
Okay,
start on
don't
time.
do that.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
But yeah, it's be awesome. It's the K Plaza Centers in Carrollton, Texas. So it'll be a good time. And then you had a couple other points you wanted to make too, Cheryl. So we don't want to get past that. You said you
Oh,
had.
you find this y'all show. I'm just here for whatever y'all want me to
Well,
say.
come on. We want you to make your points because we want to promote what you're doing because we believe in you and proud of you. So you had
Yes.
a couple things you want to
I
say.
just
So.
wanted to make sure that people know, especially men, know that it is not a male bashing play.
Oh,
And
no, not at
I
all.
always put that out there because somebody at work got that too. Like I see all these men, but anyway, it's also showing the effects of a father not being there for his son.
Right.
Mm-hmm,
It's not just
Talk.
how it affects women, but how
mm-hmm,
if he wasn't given an example, a good example, then he has to mimic whatever behavior that he saw.
mm-hmm,
Talk.
So whether it was that uncle or whether it was mama's boyfriend or whoever, whatever behavior he was displayed, he mimicked that. So
Yeah.
he
mm-hmm,
didn't necessarily know how to be a father, which also brings me to, you talked about Abraham and the different fathers and how we see them, but how did Ishmael feel? Because
mm-hmm.
he was raised with his dad.
Mm,
Yep.
that's good. That's good.
Mm-hmm,
There's a lot of nuances with it, like I said, in my situation, not knowing my father until I was 38, a couple of things, for me, thinking through it, I think it puts you on a different path.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The good thing about it is that I got introduced to God really early in my life, and so nothing replaces your heavenly Father, and so the closer I got to Him, I had to bump my head. I had to, go through life and do some things that, maybe if I had an earthly father, he'll be like, "Hey, you shouldn't do that," or "I did that," and
Right.
I learned from that, and I try to be very transparent with my sons. I
mm-hmm.
try to tell them, like, this is the road I went down, son. Especially when they got old enough to understand, like, you don't want to go down that road.
Mm-hmm.
And no
Yeah.
judgment if you do, but don't go down that road because this is what can happen from that. I think earthly fathers can come into that place and kind of help guide you, in the right direction. But if you didn't have an earthly father,
Yeah.
your heavenly father is more than enough.
Yes.
You just
Yeah.
have to get close to him.
Because he's a father to the fatherless, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Psalm 68.
I'm going to tell you that even in the Bible, it was so profound to have a father in the family when the daughters of Zelophehad, I don't know how I pronounce it, Zelophehad, Zelophaed. When they went, they didn't have, they died, their dad died. He had 5 daughters, he didn't have no sons. They
Hmm.
had to go to Moses. He had to go pray. They was like, hey, how come we don't get to inherit our father's stuff? He ain't got no son. What's wrong with us? He
Right.
didn't even have an answer. He had to go pray, and God told him, they right. Give them their father's inheritance. They have no son. But it's so profound in the Bible that he had to go ask God what to do when there was no man. Sometimes we think that men are not important, but they're so valuable in the Bible that they didn't even know what to do because they didn't have no man. So I just wanted to bring that story up because when you try to exclude the man or exclude the father, you have no idea how profound an impact that they have on the family, and they still have a profound impact today. That's
Yeah.
just not the Bible days. They are profoundly, their presence is needed, their validation is needed, their love, just them being there. They're very vital to the success of the family unit, no
Mm,
matter what we think about it. They're very vital. So I just want to bring that point up, even in the
that's
Bible.
good. That's good.
And then look at Bishop. I already see your face. You know we've been doing this show too long. Too long. We already
Listen,
see that look.
listen,
Come on with it.
listen. What I wanted to say, okay, I think it's very different that Shelton and I met our fathers at the same age.
Really?
I never
And
knew that.
yeah,
Not till today.
and I think it's also different that our friend Cheryl, our new co-host, met her father at a late age as well. But we all still turned out to be, good people because, we had God early in our lives and everything. He kind of stepped in when he needed to be because he knew that stability wasn't really going to be there, what I'm saying,
Mhm.
from an earthly aspect. And I just find that very, very interesting that, God does that and it works out like that a lot of times. You know what I mean? God will, be there for you. And you'll find that people who either don't meet their father at all or don't meet him till late in life have a long standing relationship with God. You know what I'm saying? They like it goes way, way back. You know what I'm talking about?
Definitely.
Yeah, I'm talking
Yeah.
about.
Definitely, Bishop.
Are you hearing me?
We're here.
Okay, all right, all right. Listen, I'm about to take a text and an offering. I feel my help coming right now.
Mhm.
Oh, hey, hiya. Woo,
There you go.
hey,
Get cold
hey.
blood.
Woo. Thank you.
Pastor.
Thank you.
I'm glad you brought that up. That's profound. 'Cause I look at statistics of Black men
Yeah.
in a prison, and they say statistically speaking, a high percentage of them were never raised around their father that are incarcerated. When they do the percentage rise, as opposed to ones raised with father, it was a small percent, and it was a huge gap
Wow.
in the ones that did not have a father and were raised with that fatherly influence being in the prison. So we can tell that God makes the difference. And fathers, like you guys, like you're all brought up, getting God as a foundation, getting them into your life. You weren't in prison, because God had a interception into your life, even as young males, whether your mom's introduced you to a church, however you got God. I think
Yeah.
it's just profound that you guys stable and doing well because of the influence of God being your heavenly father and not being a statistics where they say it's incredibly higher when they don't have that male influence of being incarcerated. So I think that's
There's no
awesome.
middle of the road with that. I mean,
Hmm.
it's you either gonna go to the left or to the right, period. And it's unfortunate that so many of us fall to the wayside. And while we talk about TV fathers, you know what I'm saying, don't forget about Carl Winslow from Family Matters
Oh
or
yeah,
Uncle
yeah.
Phil, you
Carl,
know what I'm saying?
Uncle Phil. Okay,
You
yeah,
know,
They was
yeah.
raising you, huh?
yeah.
They stepped in there.
They stepped in there.
And that's what I would say. My mom did a good job of having me around, good mentors.
Hmm.
I grew up in the boys club, so I remember, people like Mr. Irvin. I remember their names to this day because they taught me how to tie a tie. They taught me, different aspects of, being a man, right? I may not have got it all at once, but I was able to kind of pull from different things. And I think, ultimately, to take this a little bit more spiritually, I think it's an attack, for the enemy, right?
Hmm.
I think, when you look at societies, slavery, for example, is the closest thing that kind of popped in mind. It was always breaking up the family unit, right?
Hmm.
Because if you
Absolutely.
have a strong family, that means you end up having a strong community.
Yes,
And
Hmm.
sir.
I know we've been talking about a lot of political things in the last couple of episodes, but to me, like the root of a lot of issues is, building a strong family again,
Hmm.
and how do you build a strong family, right? The enemy wants to attack kids when they're little,
Yep.
right? And so if you don't have a father in the household and you don't have, maybe a mother in the household, it leaves a door open for different attacks, right? And so um, yeah, the answer to me is, to get God involved in your life as soon as possible, as soon as you can, as soon as you can have him in your life, if you are missing one of those things. But, ultimately we have to get to a point where the family structure, can be back in place. And I think a lot of the things that we worry about in society or that we see, happen in society will could self-correct. It could
Right.
self-course if you just had, you know, um, the way God intended it, to be,
Hmm.
a mother and a father. And again, like nobody gets a manual on how to be a father, how to be
Hmm.
how to be a mother,
Right.
and God forbid, you break up and you're not with, the person that you had a baby with, and
Hmm.
what does that look like, and
Hmm.
that adds more complication to it. So it's
I know.
all it's all important. Go
It
ahead.
really is. I have a brother. He have a son that he raised um, by the time before he got into high school, and he called me one day and he was just talking to him. He said, "Sis, I'm gonna tell you something. God had it perfect to have a man and a woman because they need that coddling from the mom and they need that discipline from the man. He said, but he said, I remember one time I was too harsh on my son. I was in there and I was just talking, not bad, but just crazy. But anyway, God stopped me. He said, get back in there and apologize and talk to him. I had no idea my son was crying. I didn't know he was in there crying. I'm just laying it on him like this is what it's gonna be. And so he said, I went in the room and he said, son, he said, I'm gonna tell you something. He said, your daddy love you. I might not say it right. I might not get it right. But everything I do and say, it might not be the way you can digest. But just know, I don't care if you do everything wrong. I love you. If you get it right, I love you. I want you to know daddy love you. And I want to just tell you, he said, but sis, sometimes I'm too much. But because I'm not, I don't have no wife to, calm me down. I'm in there talking crazy. But the kids, he said, God had it perfect. You need that woman and that man because they bring balance. Them kids need to be coddled and they need to be disciplined, but they need both. He said, because all that too much strict or too much coddling, they can't do life, and too much strict, you have them devoid of, they spirit and stuff. And so he was just making it plain to your point exactly. God did it just right. A family is what they need. And he was just expressing to me how difficult it is for him to, to calm down. He said, so I had to reel myself back a lot. I want to say all kinds, but it's like, he can't, you gotta, so trying to be a mom and a dad is difficult. So I had to pull myself in a lot, and calm myself down from being what I want to say, because I don't have that other partner to go coddle him with daddy too much. Like, oh, baby, mama got you. It's just me and my boy. So I just was thinking what y'all was saying is very vital to the family. You need both. The kids need both.
Wow.
And you have real live examples that tell you the truth. You need both.
You have to have both. And again, like if you didn't, you know, you quoted that scripture from Psalms. God is a father to the fatherless, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's I know people wonder, like, why is your answer always God? Why is your answer always? I mean, because it is,
Mm-hmm.
And I think the more you understand that, the more you seek Him, the more you have a relationship with Him, um, you start seeing yourself,
Mm-hmm.
right? The more I pray, the more I spend time with God, the more I understand my purpose, right?
Right.
The Bible says He knew you before you were even on this earth. So um, we put a lot of pressure on parents to be that for us, and again, they need, in a perfect world, in a perfect situation, that's exactly how it would be, and that's what I think we should be working towards, and what we should be striving for. But if you didn't, it's not too late, right? It's not like it's not unredeemable, or I might as well just go ahead and do whatever I want to do at this particular point. No, God still has a plan, even for that. So um, I'm super excited. I can't
Mm-hmm.
really wait until Saturday.
Yeah, it's going down.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's going down.
Going down.
Y'all gonna be there? Y'all
We
gonna
He
are.
already got his ticket.
That's why I was trying to figure out where to get the tickets at. I'm gonna pull up on
Yeah, show him. He already got his ticket. They said these tickets is gone.
you. I'm gonna pull up on you. Be
Shoot,
ready.
pull up, Pastor?
she was showing your mother-in-law talk about she want to come see me. She was showing mother-in-law want to see me because his mom-in-law, she good to me. She gonna support. Baby, she think I'm crazy as they come. I said, baby, I ain't gonna let you
You
down.
is.
I'm not gonna let you
You
down.
you is.
No,
So
super super excited about it, and I think it's needed. Definitely
mhm,
needed in a time like this, and I thank you for being obedient.
mhm,
It was a
Just
for
when
me.
you led out with, God told me to put,
mhm.
that
Sir,
tells me right all I need to know.
this has been a battle.
Oh God, yes.
I'm
For
telling
everybody. So we need y'all prayers that
What
everybody make it, everybody show up, and everybody's in good health.
what's been the battle? What's going
The
on, sister?
whole
You
practice,
all right?
everything.
no, you just when you say yes, I've experienced the cast have experienced some things, but I've some things have been revealed, and yeah, it's been something. It's that yes gonna be tried, okay? So
Mm.
Okay.
that yes, it was tried, but hey,
Okay.
we still standing here.
And
Mm-hmm.
Cheryl, the last thought I have with that though, and this is encouragement. This is probably something you already know. But when we take that step of even sharing, parts of our testimony, it becomes more healing for ourselves as well. And I remember, being nervous about some, people knowing about certain things about my past or being embarrassed. But once you share it, like whatever the shame was or you know, whatever you felt that was going to be an issue,
Yeah.
it gets released, right? And you find out that that's actually where a lot of that freedom comes from, right?
Yeah.
And like I said earlier, and other people said, "What? Me too. I've been through this. Like I've been doing this show with Dion for what 8, 9 years? How long we been doing this, Dion? It's been a minute.
Maybe even
First
10.
time to understand that we even have a similar situation with our fathers, but it's a matter of sharing it, right? When we talk
Yeah.
about it, we let each other know, like
Mhm.
we in this together,
Yeah.
like we
Right.
not all, like it's not just me,
For real. For real.
That's the truth.
because it's easy to get to that point.
Yeah.
Oh man, like why me, Lord?
Mm-hmm.
Life be happening to all of us.
I will
Yes, sir.
in that what you just said about how we don't know how we're helping somebody else. Just even I can just remember one rehearsal we had, and people just started sharing in the room how being a part of this cast has really helped them. And one girl didn't even realize she had unresolved issues about her dad. She didn't grow up with her dad, but she had unresolved issues, and that even in dealing with this, being a part of this production, it's bringing healing to her. And then another young lady said, just being a part of the cast, she's been enduring some tribulations, but it has helped her to keep her mind focused and keep it, So just that day, they don't know. They encouraged me because it wasn't a good day. As a director, I'm just pushing, pushing, pushing. But that really let me know I'm doing the right thing. I'm in the right vein, and I'm doing what God called me to do. So yeah, definitely.
And sure, just real quick, one more thing because we got about 2 minutes left. Um, are you going to be recording this? Because
I
this
want.
show is worldwide, and I got people in other states and other stuff like that. So I know they're gonna feel kind of jealous.
I want. I want to cry because I couldn't find a videographer to
Mhm.
do it for us. But this will not be our last show. We already have been requested to go to Pittsburgh. So it's probably on our agenda for next year. And
Okay.
of course, I will. And whenever we do it again, I'm gonna make sure we get filmed. But and then in Memphis, of course, I have to take it home. So, if your viewers would like to bring it to their city, hey, tell them to hit you up, and then you'll hit me up.
Okay. All right.
And we
All
all
right.
will.
That
Yeah,
works too.
it's not a one time thing for sure.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Any last thoughts before we wrap up tonight?
From there,
Man, I
um,
miss
any
everything y'all just said.
You are guests, so
for
you get your last thoughts from
I
our
did have
guests.
one last thing. I wanted to make sure you asked me at the very beginning, but we don't went to about 3 or 4 corners, so we didn't get to hit that. But I did want to mention we were just at rehearsal the other night, and I realized that there's some generational things that happen within the cast as well.
Mhm.
So it just made me think about something my niece asked me a long time ago. Like, TT, there's like no men, nobody's married in our family. Because we have like a small family. So my grandmother was married. She lost her husband.
Mhm.
And then yeah, she lost her husband. Then my mom was married, but she's been divorced twice. And then I was married, but my husband passed away. And I was
Mhm.
like, no, it's not a curse. The devil is a liar. Well, where is my next? But anyway, it made me think about generational curses, but just even in that point as it relates to the play, one of the mothers didn't have the baby daddy walked out on her, so the daughter is determined to hold on to her relationship with her baby daddy by any means necessary, because she wants her child to grow up in a home with the dad. So she puts up with a lot of crap. So we get to see how it just it flows. It goes from one generation to the next. But what are you teaching your child allowing this to happen?
Yes.
Exactly.
Want to make sure that we, let people know it's, yeah.
Yeah, there's layers to this.
Yeah, this play is layered up.
There's layers to this.
Yeah.
It's layered up.
And I was worried about talking an hour. I done overtalked y'all. I'm sorry.
No, you did good.
No,
This was good.
this
was a good
was
show.
awesome.
We wanted that. Yeah, it was
Yeah,
awesome.
it's some people that come on the show. We won't have them back again, but you can come back. You can definitely come back. Yeah, some people cannot come back. And she'll be like, "Hey, they coming on." I'll be like, "Nah, bro, not happening. I don't want to see their ugly face again."
Oh goodness!
But you can come back. You good.
That's the comedic part of him, but he about serious.
Yeah.
Now, we enjoyed you though. This was awesome. Thank you for coming and sharing your mindset and the blessing, the anointing that God have given you. It was really an honor and a pleasure to even have you in our space today. So we value it and we appreciate you.
Yes. So hey, y'all go out, get y'all tickets. I Want My Daddy. If you're in the DFW area, Carrollton, Texas. What's that? 1115 4th Avenue, October 5th, starting at 2. Get there. The doors open at 1, right?
Yeah.
So get there at 1:30. Y'all get you a nice little seat. Is
it general seating or is it assigned seats?
General.
When I buy my ticket.
Yes, general.
So get there early. Get there early now.
General.
So you can get some good seats.
Ain't no VIP?
Not this go round, man of God.
Well, I mean, you can't save in no seat.
Personality. We may have to just save you we're gonna
make
VIP
seat. Make him a seat.
VIP. How about that?
Put a Dion on.
You and brother Shelton.
Yeah. We need to be at a good vantage point where we can see our girl do her thing.
Got to make the VIP section. Remember that.
I see.
We're gonna take care of y'all.
All right.
Love it. Okay. Y'all get y'all tickets today, y'all. Thank you, Cheryl. Thank you for joining us. And like Dion said, yes, you're welcome back anytime.
Oh yeah.
So much. Thank you so much.
Talk show.